Hello, it's Jane from Earth Palette here, and I thought today I'd go through the mixing of how to mix these dyes, the Earth Palette dyes. In my jugs I've got 600 mils of warm water or warm to hot water straight out of the tap. And what I'm going to do, I'll start with the orange. I'm just going to tip, this is 100 grams of dye. The directions are on the back. And I'm just going to tip it straight in there. These are just cheap chopsticks. You buy them from, I don't know, Kmart, Woolworths, I'm not sure where I got them from. And I use them to mix my dyes. And you just keep mixing it until it's totally dissolved and the mixture will thicken slightly. So it takes a few minutes for it all to dissolve. Once it's dissolved, it's ready for use straight away. Okay, while we're stirring that one, we might multitask. This one is sky blue, 100 grams. We'll tip the blue in. And this is another chopstick. This is just a cheap plastic one again. I use the thick end to stir. Stir it fairly well. Stir them both at the same time. It takes a few minutes for it to thicken up slightly. Just leave them there and do, this is the clear. Now, the clear I get asked about a lot. What is the purpose of the clear? The clear is exactly the same ingredients as in the dye ones, except there's no dye. So it has all the same ingredients. The directions are exactly the same. 100 grams into 600 mils of warm to hot water. Stir it the same. And it'll just make a clear, viscous liquid. Once it's mixed, we'll give our other ones a stir while we're working on it. The purpose of the clear is just to dilute the other colours if you don't want to use them full strength, but you still want that slight viscosity of the dye liquor so that it doesn't just run through the fibres like water will. Often if you're dyeing fleece or yarn or fibre as in top form, when you pour the dye on, it all sinks to the bottom and it all pools and you get like a muddy brown colour, which isn't what you're actually intending to do. So that's why the thickener is added to these dyes. So everything you need is in these dyes. These dyes are ready to use once they're mixed with water. I might just grab a couple of spoons so that you can see how it coats the spoon. So as you can see, it's not quite as thick as honey, but it's not watery. Give them a bit more of a stir. They will thicken up slightly over the next 10 minutes or so. I reckon they're all dissolved. So, for instance, if I wanted to use the orange, but I don't want it quite so dark an orange, you can just put a little bit into another container. Add the clear. Mix it just so that it's well mixed, and it'll give you a much lighter shade of orange as opposed to the original. So that is really all the clear is meant for. It just lightens up the colour. If you decide that colour's not quite as dark as you would like it, you can add a little bit more until you get it to the right consistency. the right colour, and then it's ready to use. If you use water to dilute these dyes, you will have to adjust the acid in there, because these dyes already have the dye, the thickener, the acid, which is citric acid, so it's a food grade safe acid. If you adjust this thickness of this and add water, you will have to add some more acid, whether it's citric acid or whether you add a bit of vinegar, for the dyes to set properly. Put a bit of the blue in here. And then a bit of the clear. Give it a stir. Here's my other spoon. And as you can see, that's the colour of it. So it's really just the shade to make it lighter. So that's the sole purpose of the clear. Okay. And then they're ready to use. Thank you.